Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 21, the Dynasty of Bharata. Text from 19 to 21. 19 and 20 has no purport, so I will just chant, then we will chant together 21. Gargachinistato gargya kshatrad brahma hyavartarta trutikshayo mahaviryat tasya trayarini kavihi pushkararunirityatra ye brahmana katim kata prahat Chakrasya putro bhut dashadiyat Dastinapuram. Translation. From Garga came a son named Shini, and his son was Kargya. Although Kargya was a Kshatriya, there came from him a generation of Brahmanas. From Mahavirya came a son named Takshaya, whose sons were Trayaruni, Kavi and Pushkararuni. Although these sons of Trutikshaya took birth in the dynasty of Kshatriyas, they too attained the position of Brahmanas. Brihatsaktra had a son named Hasi, who established the city of Hastinapura, now New Delhi. Text 21, please repeat. Ajamidaham Dvimidaham Purumidaham Cha Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vamshaya Shiyuhu Priyamedadayaha Tvijaha Ajamidot Vimidascha Purumidascha Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vanshasyu Priyamedadayo Tvijaha Ajamidaha Ajamida Vimidaha Vimida Cha also Purumidaha Purumida Cha also Hastinaha became the son of Hasti. Ajamidasya of Ajamida, Vamshya descendants, Shiyuhu or Priyamedadayaha, headed by Priyameda, Tvijaha, Brahmanas. Translation and prepared by His Divine Grace, His Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation. From King Hasti came three sons named Ajameda, Dvimeda, and Purumeda. The descendants of Ajameda, headed by Priyameda, all achieved the position of Brahmanas. Purport. This verse gives evidence confirming the statement of Bhagavad Gita that the orders of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, are calculated in terms of qualities and activities, guna karma vibhāgasha. All the descendants of Ajameda, who was Kshatriya, became Brahmanas. This was certainly because of their qualities and activities. Similarly, sometimes the sons of Brahmana or Kshatriya become Vaishya. Brahmana Vaishya Kataha. When the Kshatriya or Brahmana adopts the occupations of duty of a Vaishya, Grishi Goraksha Vanijam, he is certainly counted as a Vaishya. On the other hand, if one is born a Vaishya, by his activities he can become a Brahmana. This is confirmed by Narada Muni. Yasya Lakshanam Proktam. The members of the Varnas or social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, must be ascertained by their symptoms, not by birth. Birth is immaterial, quality is essential. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Iti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prashati Deshatare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ajamidot Vimidasya Purumidasya Hastinaha Ajamidasya Vamshashu Priyamedadayo Dvijahan. In translation, from King Hasti came three sons named Ajameda, Dvimeda, and Purumeda. The descendants of Ajameda, headed by Priyameda, all achieved the position of Brahmanas. Hare Krishna. So this chapter describes about the dynasty of Bharata. As we heard yesterday, till yesterday we were hearing whom? Rantitev, yeah. So from this verse onwards is really the dynasty of Bharata is going to be explained. So here in this particular verse today we read, we see that Ajameda's descendants, they become a Brahmana, and Srila Prabhupada is in the purport is quoting from Bhagavad Gita 4.13, Chaturvarnya Mahasishtam Guna Karma Vibhāgasha. So the shloka, he says this verse, the Bhagavatam, this verse is evidence to that what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So the point is that the Supreme Lord Krishna is source of everything. He is the one who creates everything. Everything is born of him, and everything is sustained by him, and everything is after that is annihilated by him. Everything rests in him. So therefore we understand, as Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everything is emanated from him. So similarly, Krishna says, about this Varna and Ashrama. Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam is created by me, Krishna says very clearly. So, in the beginning, the social order starts with Brahmana, the intelligent class of people, and then the Kshatriyas, the next level, who are administrative class of people, and then the Vaishyas, who are mercantile people who do the trading and agriculture and cow, giving shelter to the cows and other things. And then the Sudras are the fourth level, who are assisting above all these three people, laborer class. So this is the system is, Krishna says, Maya system is established by him. He created by him. Now, although how Lord is created all this Varna and Ashrama, but what he says, Tasya Kartha, he is not within these divisions. He is out of this because he is the origin of everything. He is before all this Varna and Ashrama is created, he existed. So he cannot be within that creation. So, similarly, Srila Prabhupada explains the human beings also is above the animals society. This Varna and Ashrama is created for the civilized human society. So, unless one follows the the principles of the Varna and Ashrama, and he cannot, claim as a human being. That's the point. So, human society always is expected to be higher than the animal society. So this Varna and Ashrama, this system is established to elevate. Even if someone is in the, in the platform of like animalistic life, so by following this Varna and Ashrama, this system, he can elevate himself at least to the human level, then, by slowly, come to the Sattva Guna, then slowly advance spiritually. So that is the system. This is why it's created, because everyone is the jiva in this material world. When they come, everyone has different desire, different way to enjoy. So therefore, 84 lakhs of different species are there, and different life and different way jivas trying to enjoy. And because Krishna is the father of all the jivas, he is the source of everyone. And naturally, the father doesn't like the children to suffer. Sugurdam sarvabhutanam. He is a well-wisher of all the living entities. So he makes such a way, because he is a perfect person, even though we wanted to by force be separate from him, and he creates the world which is perfect. So the jiva still, they can follow his order, follow his system, and slowly come back to him. So we don't suffer here. So even though this material world is not the place for enjoyment, but still he gives all the facilities this way, that way, some system. Even if you have some material desire, even if you want some enjoyment, go through it, but slowly advance. Don't remain in the animal platform or, lower than that. So that was the idea. So this Varnashrama system is, Srila Prabhupada explained, is prescribed for the civilized human being. So they can successfully end this repeated birth and death, this material life. So means the human being trying to engage themselves in the self-realization, they are differentiating them from the animals, the animalistic society. Because otherwise, if you see the common activities, ahara, nidra, bhayamaitanam, is all the dogs and hogs and all the animals they do. And the people everywhere, all over the world, if you see, Prabhupada say, I go all around the world, everywhere, people thinking America is different, Japan is different, but it's not. Everywhere people doing same, eating, mating, tiffin, sleeping, same thing only. A little maybe, America is a little more polished way they do, a little more, materially advanced, more sophisticated. But ultimately, everyone is engaged in these four things only. So to differentiate from this society, if someone is, want to become civilized, then they have to understand that we have to realize who we are, who is God, what is our relationship with God, why all this, difference is there in this society. Especially now, the whole world is, everybody is speaking, everyone is equal. Nobody likes to have, divisions. When you say this Varna and Ashrama, immediately, you are differentiating, you are saying someone is higher, someone is lower. It's not good. Nobody likes nowadays. But how you can make it equal, how, in which platform? So many times Prabhupada is heavy, strongly criticizing this communism. Because they speak, everyone is equal, but always the communist leaders are very rich. They have all the big facilities. They always sit on the very nice chair on the stage. The labor class people who put the flags and put the posters on the wall, and they always remain in that position. They never given chance to come on the stage and hold the mic and speak to the people. They never given chance to become a leader. Practically, it's not going to happen equal. Because it's a natural. It's a natural. This natural division is there because everyone is different. Every jiva is individual. Everybody has a different, desire, hate, and different. Everybody is different. So, automatically the system is there. Even in the so-called the modern society, even if you take all this multinational company, everywhere the divisions are there. There are some intelligent class of people who plan, who nicely, make some idea that how to improve our company, how to develop. And then there are some class of people who are, administrating all these different branches all over the world. And then there are some people who are marketing their products. And some people, they, produce in the factory, labor work. Everyone has this section. You cannot artificially claim everyone is equal. So, the point is that the divisions are there, but the point from Shastra, proper source, if we hear, it's not that if we are in the lower level, you should remain forever lower level. It's not said like that. But people misunderstand this point. As soon as you say Shudra, nobody wants to hear this word. Oh, you are saying me Shudra. Means I'm a servant, I'm, slave. I don't want. Who told you to remain like that? Nobody is forcing you to remain like that. That's the point. But therefore the system is there. You follow the system, you can advance, you can come up. But till you have that quality, you have to accept it. Till you are, quality, you have a quality of a Shudra, then, you cannot artificially claim, oh, you should treat me as a Brahmana. What do you know anything about Brahmanical? Brahmana means Brahma Janati the Brahmana. What do you know about Brahman? Like today, now in Tamil Nadu, the government is put a law that people from any caste can become archaka in the temple. They can do the, But this is not just mechanical, activity. Learn few mantras and then you just do mechanically and it's perfect. That's not the system. It's a completely different. You have to, have a faith. You have to be very submissive to your guru. You have to learn, what is absolute truth. Then only the reciprocation will be there. If you do arati, if you do archana, the people will get benefited. It's just by mechanically anybody doing it won't happen. It doesn't happen. We all know in Krishna consciousness movement, we also follow some things. Prabhupada very proudly telling, yesterday I was hearing some conversation in Bombay, in the beach, with some of his, many times Prabhupada was conversing with his friends, some doctors, some, Sanskrit Pandits, they were there. And Prabhupada quite freely, very, nicely discussed with them many things. And some of them were, pushing some things, and Prabhupada is just insisting the point that, you have to follow. You have to follow. Like in our society, we tell the people, when you come, we don't just immediately give it initiation. We observe them for, 6 months, 1 year, and we see that they, they don't engage in any sinful activity. They follow the regulatory principles, and then they chant daily. They are interested. They have faith. Then we give them first initiation, Haranam Diksha. Then we more observe if his person really developing sattvic qualities, and if he is qualified to worship the deity and serve the deities, then we give them Brahmanical initiation. So, and we see it is possible. It's not that no one can come up, no one can develop the higher qualities. This is a big mistake today, the society. Everybody thinks, oh, when you say me, you are a Brahmana, so you remain always a Brahmana. It's not. It's not by birth. Automatically you become Brahmana. That's the point Prabhupada is explaining here, that it's not by birth. Very nice word Prabhupada is used here. The last. Birth is immaterial. It's meaningless. Just, having birth in any family can be, but how you live, how you develop, what are your qualities? Quality is essential. It's a very important thing. But this, unfortunately, people don't want to hear from the proper source, from people, they don't want to hear from Bhagavad Gita properly, and everybody reads their own way, they want to understand it. And everybody quotes, you see, Chaturvarnyama system, you see, Bhagavad Gita is discriminating. No, Baba, not at all. Bhagavad Gita is the only book which allows you to, elevate. Srila Prabhupada so many times very proud. I remember our Guru Maharaj, also His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, several years back, there was a Vyas Puja celebration in Vellore. There was a press meeting. The devotees arranged some reporters to come and, they took some interview from Guru Maharaj. And then that time I was just freshly, got Brahmin initiation just shortly before, maybe a few weeks or 2-3 weeks, something. Then Maharaj called me, and he knew that my background, I was not born in Brahmin family. I'm from Barber family, so Guru Maharaj knew that. So he called me and he asked me to introduce myself to the reporters. Tell your name and what was your birth and what you are doing now, everything. So I explained. Then Maharaj asked me, okay, pull out your Brahmin thread, show them. You see, this is what we are doing. Our society, the Krishna conscious society, everybody is thinking that, our spiritual, as soon as you say Hinduism or the Varnashrama, or Sanatana Dharma, all these words, when you use, people, they misunderstand because these people are always trying to suppress others, the lower class of people. So it's not like that. It's the Varnashrama, the Sanatana Dharma is to elevate everyone from the, what to speak of the Sudra class, from the people who are even lower than the Sudras. Milechas, Sandalas, everyone can advance to the Brahminical position. And practically Prabhupada showed it. And people were so much, upset in the beginning, so much opposing. How can you do this? And especially when Prabhupada gave sannyas to some of his Western disciples, people could not tolerate it. Why not? Then how you bring the society, how you are going to help the world to, get out of this repeated birth and death? How? Then otherwise people are going to be here forever. So that's the point. The self-realization, the path of self-realization. Of course, the Varnashrama is not the ultimate goal of our life. We know from Chaitanya Charitamrita that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not say that, okay, when Ramananda Rai first he say, yes, this is the ultimate. We know, but still, it's meant for pleasing the Lord, because he is created by the Lord. This is the system. Varnashrama charavata vata purushena parapuman. Varnashrama acharavata. The following the achara of the varna and ashrama, one can please the Supreme Lord by following the principles of varna and ashrama. So, in the Shastra, is there are many instruction is given. Like, if you see in Bhagavatam, in the section where Bhishma Dev instructing to Yudhishthira Maharaj, to bring up the conditioned souls to higher level, there are many instructions in Mahabharata, and so many instructions are given. Just few points. Bhishma Dev says that one should not become angry, not to lie, to equally distribute wealth, to forgive, to beget children only by the one's legitimate wife, to be pure in mind and hygienic in body, not to be the inimical toward anyone, to be simple and support servants of the subordinates. So, if one who follows all these points, then, Prabhupada explained, then he can claim as a civilized human being. This is for everyone. It's not that, of course, after that, according to the Varna, according to his quality, his occupation is there. Whether he do the Brahminical duty or the Kshatriya duty or Vaishya duty, that is also is there. But these things, everyone should follow. But where is today this so-called this equality in this society? Who is teaching these points? There are much more that are there. But just for example, I took one, instruction. Where? Who is teaching this point? To beget children only by one's legitimate wife. This is very difficult for today's society to follow this. They found so many ways to have illicit sex. So many contraceptives, so many this, that, abortion, all this way they found not to take responsibility of, the subsequence of the sex life. Naturally, the children born, the child comes and they don't want to take care, but they just want to enjoy. Even the legitimate wife, if you get the children, there is a restriction are there that also. You can't just all day be with your wife. It's not allowed. Why? Because the reason is there that the ultimate goal of life is not live like animals all day, just, how to enjoy. It's not the ultimate goal of life. So, therefore, the Srila Prabhupada explained that the tendency of a particular man toward his work is determined by in which mode he situated, whether sattva guna, rajaguna, or a mix. Because the Brahmana is always situated in sattva guna, the Kshatriyas, they are in mode of patience, in rajaguna. Vaishyas are mixed, rajaguna and tamaguna. And Sudras are in tamaguna. So it is determined by this, not that, guna karma, not by birth. It's very clear. Because Brahmana means, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly explained that the quality, what Brahmana should have and what is their activities, everything is very clear. Kshama, Dhamma, Tapa, Shauksham, Jnati, Arjava, Mevacha, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma, Karma, Swabhavajam. Shama, peacefulness. So, who will not like to be peaceful? The peacefulness is there. Everybody likes it. Dhamma, self-control, is a very good thing. Tapa, austerity. Shaucham, purity. Kshanti, tolerance. Arjavam, honesty. Jnanam, knowledge. Vijnanam, wisdom. Astikyam, religiousness. So, all these things, if you develop, you can claim yourself also Brahmana. It's not that you cannot. No one is stopping you. You can develop these qualities. Similarly, for Kshatriya, Vaishya also, Prabhupada, Krishna is explaining, Shauryam tejo trititaksham yutecha chapalala dhanam ishvara bhavasya kshatram karma swabhavacham. So, these are, and for Vaishyas and Sudras also is explained. These things are, all of these are needed to society to, go very nicely. All these divisions are needed. It's not that everyone become a Brahmana and then, no Sudras, no Kshatriya, no Vaishyas. Then who will produce the food grain? Who will do the labor work? Nobody likes to be a labor. Then what to do? Like today in the modern society, everyone wants to become engineer or doctor. Nobody wants to do any other work. You see, practically we experience it. To get one, physical work like a carpentry work or this electrical work or plumbing work, any of this work, so difficult. Even devotees, we are not able to get it. Sundar Singha Prabhu is professional electrical work. We are not able to get 4 months to put some pipe in this new building, Gurukul building. Why? Because he is so busy, so much work is there. But still, nobody wants to become an electrician, nobody wants to become a plumbing worker. Everybody wants to get some degree, everybody wants to become a doctor or engineer. Imagine that, in your village, nobody else does anything else than doctor and engineering. How it will be there? How you can live there? Nobody produce any food, nobody does hair cutting, no barber, no farmer, nobody does any of this work. Then what will happen? But today everybody wants to be like that. This is crazy world. But you cannot. It's artificially they are forcing. And then the other people come and take up. Nowadays, the barber work is done by Brahmanas also. Because it's become very fashion. They don't call barber shop, they call beauty parlor. They make it little, These are nowadays is a big course. If you want to, teach this thing, you can earn in lakhs of rupees. When I wanted to learn this barber work, my father doesn't want to teach me. He say, no way. You do anything else than the barber work. But I tried several years, more than 10 different work I went, nothing works. Then I understand, my father, okay, he is not having intelligent way, I should struggle around. Then I went to my uncle and learned, opened the shop. Then I could, open anytime, whenever I want, I can go anywhere, I was so happy, and I was earning much more than any other job which I did before. Our people don't want this. The system Varnashrama shows to live more independently, not completely depend for every small thing. Today's society, especially this modern education, is not at all teaching this point that, they teach simply become like a dog. What dog does? Go front of the master, shake the tail, please give me some bread, please give me some food. Give me job. This is what Prabhupada explained. By this degree certificate, they go to different office to office. Yesterday I saw the news in Kerala. There are some, in one big city, in the bus stand, there are several, unemployed, the educated people. They came and they dressed themselves as beggars, and they put some board, hanging on the neck, some board, monthly 80,000 rupees salary, the job is begging, and like this they wanted to, bring some awareness to the society that, we are jobless and there are so many people are becoming beggars because people give them money and the beggars, the numbers of beggars, they have some crazy idea, they wanted to make some awareness, something. But you see all these things happens. Why? Because it's artificially everyone wants to get a degree, everyone wants to become an engineer and doctor only. Nothing else. Look at that engineering college in Tamil Nadu. There's so many engineering colleges the last few years. It's closed out. It completely is closed because before that, everybody joining engineering. And they built so many colleges. Now they realize there is no job. Oh, if you are an engineer, that means you will not have any job. You will remain jobless. This is how they nowadays speak. So, why? Because it's all artificial. Nobody wants to follow the natural path. Krishna is not giving anything artificial. Krishna, you see, he is the Sugradam Sarvabhutanam, as I quoted before. He is the all good. He is the person only, the person who wishes the good for everyone, every living entity. And he is not going to, discriminate higher, lower, and he is, moreover, he is helping us to come out from this repeated birth and death and this miserable life. So we have to understand, if we develop these good qualities, easily you can climb a Brahmana. But you have to get trained for it. You have to, learn things. You have to become submissive. You cannot just, it's not that, some competition, who will be Brahmana. It's not that. So, Prabhupada therefore is very clearly explained, the person in Krishna consciousness is, however, is above Brahmana. Therefore, the devotees are not, hankering after becoming a Brahmana, because the being a position of Vaishnava is already above it. Like how Krishna is not, within this Varna and Ashrama, because he is created this Varna and Ashrama. He is existed before the Varna Ashrama. And he is the source of everything. Similarly, the person who is in Krishna consciousness, he is also above all this Varna and Ashrama. So therefore, the Krishna conscious people, they are not so much disturbed by this society. Like today, all these Brahminical people, so-called Brahmins, they have association. Recently I saw another news that the Brahmins association leader went to the chief minister, gave a big letter that the today government is hating so much hatred is there about the Brahminical community. This should not be. We are, feel very bad, very sad to live in this, country, because all the time your government is, so your ministers are hating always they are, speaking against the Brahminical culture and not like this. They are so much disturbed there. Why? Because they also identify, I born in Brahmin family, so I am Brahmana. But actually, if you understand, the Brahmana, according to the quality which is described in Bhagavad Gita, the real Brahmana will not be disturbed because he understands these are people who are ignorant. They completely have no any knowledge about this. What is life, what is death. And what is the value of their, comment, whatever they, speak, it doesn't give any meaning. So, and Prabhupada is so mercifully in our society, given the process which is described by Krishna, which is given in the Shastras, very clearly, very nicely, he trained his, followers. And then, if we follow what Prabhupada taught us, and then we can really come up. And the changing the position from the lower birth to the higher, position is not something new. And here we see, Prabhupada say, this is the evidence that you can, from Kshatriya, you can become a Brahmana. And there are more others. There are so many other examples in the Shastras also we see. Rishabhadeva's sons, some of them, they become Brahmana. Some of them, of course, they become preacher of Krishna consciousness at even higher level. And there is a famous story from Japala Upanishad. The Satyakam, he was born of some maid servant woman, and then, and he did not know who his father. So when you want to join in Gurukul, naturally the Guru will ask, who is your father? And he said, I don't know who is my father. Then go and ask your mother. Mother say, I also don't know. I don't know who is your father. You see, I'm a servant, I'm indulged with many men, and I don't know exactly who is your father. And the boy came and told to Guru Gautama Muni, my mother also doesn't know who is my father. Okay, you are a Brahmana, you are accepted. Because speaking the truth, who will admit that I don't know my father? Nobody will admit. Because it's embarrassing in the society if we don't know out of whom you born, and it is very, shameful. Nobody feels happy to say that, I don't know my father. It's very shameful. So, but he admitted, he spoke the truth. So, Gautama Rishi is accepted him. And in the Shastra is very clear. There is a verse, Ennamadeya Shravanana Kirtana. This verse is explained. It is very clearly that even a person born in a family of a dog eaters become immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifice. If he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chant about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisance, or even remembers him. Why? Because Krishna is Pavitram idam uttamam. He is the most pure personality. By chanting, hearing about him, remembering him, we become pure. By associating, chanting, hearing, remembering means we associate with the Supreme Lord. And this is the process what we get from this Krishna conscious movement. Whatever we do, everything is some or other try to, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That is the principle. So, in this way, we can, come out of this varna and ashrama, all these things. And we don't have to, struggle to whether I am Brahmana or Kshatriya or Sudra. We don't have to be mental about it. That's not our... ultimately, we should come out of all of this identification. Any of material identification is, is binding us in this material world. So this is, Prabhupada is mercifully, is very clearly, is explained to us, and we just have to have a proper understanding, because sometimes devotees also identify, by their birth or the religion which they were before coming to Krishna consciousness, or even after coming, because identify themselves as a Hindus, And sometimes they support some political party because they support the Hindus. The caste conscious is very much many times. I had experience in the beginning days. Now, maybe they are not showing, but I'm not personally criticizing anyone, but I had experience because some of them, they knew I'm from barber family, and they were treating me differently than others. I experienced. Because they are in caste conscious, they don't see the person who is chanting Hare Krishna, who is engaged. It's not I expected that they should treat me, but we should understand. There are people, caste conscious, there are people are in different material position. They are identifying themselves by wealth, by name, fame, and so many ways they identify themselves. But it should not be. That's not our goal to practice Krishna conscious. We are not Hindus. We are not any of these material identification. All are these upatis. Sarvapati vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. You have to understand. Unless we understand this, and we are not going to get out of this upatis. It's going to bind us more and more here. Hare Krishna. Okay, I stop here. Is there any question, comment?
Among the devotees also, I think because of such an improper understanding, even we can see some devotees, they very much push to take Brahminical initiation, and you develop the quality, and then naturally things will fall in place. But really, those devotees who are very serious, they don't do this. But it's a big misunderstanding amongst the neophytes. And they would really
Thank
push
you
themselves.
for reminding. Please complete.
So that's the point. I was just thinking that because you can see so many purports and commentaries by Prabhupada, so many things he's very clearly explaining, and we don't even read it. We do not read, and we want to do something else, which is really a great problem in the society. That's one thing. Another second point I want to say is that, and as you explained about the Varnashrama principles and like that, our own devotees, they do not understand what is Srila Prabhupada's mood, and they see so much of differentiation. They think that doing some service in the farm or any menial service or Goshala or whatever, any simple thing, they think that these all, I will not be respected in the community and like that. There was one recently, a couple of weeks back, I was trying to preach to one boy. So he was thinking that, you see, you are all very elevated devotees. Only people give lecture, and you are all having managerial positions, and we have to do this simple, such a misunderstanding. It ultimately simply boils down to no proper hearing, no reading of Srila Prabhupada's books, and we will remain neophytes forever. This will be the problem. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. I just remember one incident that one devotee was pushing his Guru Maharaj that I want Brahmin initiation, I want Brahmin initiation, I want Brahmin initiation. So many times he pushed. He went through the temple president, didn't work. Then he personally approached the Guru, didn't work. But he was go on pushing. Then one day Guru asked him, so what are you doing? I'm working in some industry, some factory, something. So, is that Brahminical work? What Brahmana does? What is the Brahmin duty? Huh? Then he say, what is that? Patan patan yajanya ajan dhana pratikraha. So, you are not doing this. You are taking salary, means you are, servant of someone else. How you can become a Brahmana? What is the point you wearing a Brahmin thread? Then he completely, his mouth was shut up. Think a little bit. You want to become a Brahmana, and you take Diksha, and then you don't live as a Brahmana, then what's the point? What's the point of having a Brahmin thread around? Recently, there was a question and answer session in Europe, the Lika camp, and there was a question that what is the minimum standard to worship the deity? This is like all the time. This question forever they exist. Then Maharaj said, why did you ask minimum? Why don't you ask the maximum standard? Because the deity worship means you are supposed to serve Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Means you have to do the best thing, but you are asking the minimum. So means you got Diksha for namesake, for something to show to your friends, to get your mind satisfied that now I am Brahmana, I am senior. But you don't want to act as a Brahmana, worship the deity. You don't want to spend the time, to do the deity seva. But you want to climb as a Brahmana. Why? Why you do that? You see, they come to the Krishna consciousness all the way and do something here and then miss a lot of things, without a proper understanding, identify materially, as a Brahmana, as a Hindu, as a this, as a that, is completely a misfortune, And Maharaj said there are so many. I was realizing later, there are so many people already, they are a Brahmin initiated, and still people go on pushing for a Brahmin initiation. When you ask why you want, because I will do deity worship, I will cook for Krishna. Then, if you see the reality, already in every community, there are so many Brahmanas are there, and none of them are doing. Because of that, now you are asking, I want Brahmin initiation because I will do puja, I will do cooking. But later, you see, in few months or few weeks, you will also one of them. The people who already Brahmana, who are not doing, you will be one of them. And practically I was thinking, my God, in our community also, we have so many Brahmanas, But we struggle always for a puja, for a cooking seva. Always is it difficult to get the pujaris. You see, this is what is the reality. Why? Because not proper understanding what means Brahmana. Okay, anyway, this will not end. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.